Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
My name is Owen. I come from Nyaope. Went to primary here, high school, and then went to Joburg for 3 years and then came back. That's a bit of a summary. I'm currently now back home seeking employment.
So you're done with your high school, you completed your tertiary studies?
Yes, I did. I graduated in 2016 at the University of Johannesburg.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I have a diploma in transport and supply chain management.
Okay.
Yes.
So when did you start your...
like using substances?
Yeah.
Basically, them started with gambling. It's like gambling led me to be around people who use substances, you understand?
Okay.
Yeah, and then being around those people, I ended up, could say I was tempted, or I could say it was peer pressure. I ended up using those substances because my friends who I was gambling with, they were using them. And the thing about gambling is that it causes stress. Like when you lose, you understand, you won't be in a happy mode. Like you become stressed, and then you are vulnerable at that time to can fall victim to certain things because you are not thinking clearly. It led me to substances. I started off with the small, they're not exactly small, but I could say the less strong ones.
Like what?
Like weed. Weed is also
substance.
Yeah, it's also a substance in a way. So I started with weed. I was still in high school when I started weed. I was doing my grade 9. Okay, and then I smoked weed for the next 8 years. I got addicted to the weed as well. It's like I couldn't stop once I had started.
Which type of weed were you smoking? Local, Swazi, or what?
All of them, whichever I came across. Like if you come with Swazi, come with skunk, whatever it is. Like when you're smoking, you want the strongest
thing that can make you high.
We want the strongest. So local is not exactly strong, and then Swazi as well. Those are the lower grade ones. We prefer the higher grade ones, like your skunk, your what, chronic. They have so many names. Understand? Okay, I used those, like, and my aim was never to deviate from the weed. It was, I never planned on changing from weed to actual like drugs. Understand? Okay, I was a person who was smoking weed. Like even when I was here at home, I would smoke with my friends. When I was at varsity, I would smoke weed as well. And then it happened that in my second year, in 2012, I came back home. I was still in varsity. The person who I was, my friend here back at home, one of my good friends, closest friends, I discovered that he was smoking like drugs. Okay. And then I was like to him, why are you doing this? This is not good for you. And in response, he said he only does it like part-time, once in a while. I was like, hey, bro, I don't want to take part in such things. And then a few weeks later, I could say I was stressed because of like things that happen at home, like understand, like yes, and then something happened at home, and then I was stressed. I was not in a good space. I don't know what happened to me, but I went to that friend of mine. I was like, brah, I'm not in a good space. Those things you were smoking the other day, where do they sell them? And then he was like, yeah, they sell them there, the price is this. And then I gave that guy money. He went and he bought those things.
Okay, so before you continue, so you deliberately knew that this guy was smoking this type of drug. So what?
And I had never used it before.
So you were aware of what it does.
I knew, like we were taught in school, like drugs are not good for you, this and that, they damage your brain and they affect your life and all that. I was aware, but at that time, because I wasn't really myself, I could say I wasn't really thinking about the consequences. I didn't really think about what's gonna happen after getting intoxicated. When you smoke substances like weed and whatnot, you tell yourself that it's a coping mechanism. Like,
True.
it's like in a way you're running away from reality by getting high for that moment and forgetting about it. You understand? It's that kind of a thing. So that day, I don't know like what brought about the thought of giving that guy money to go and buy those things, but then it happened, and then okay, that guy went and bought those things. He came back, we sat somewhere, he showed me how we do it, how we smoke it, and then okay, I smoked it with him that day.
So what was the drug?
It was Nyaope.
Okay.
Biggest mistake of my life. Okay, just getting like the thing about certain substances like the Nyaope we are talking about is that you can get addicted by doing it only once. Like only once is enough for certain people to get hooked. Yes, like once you experience it and that high, like yeah, it's nice in a way, I could say. The high, it's a nice high. It's just that it has consequences. It's like when you are drunk, like you see, when you're drunk, being drunk, like being intoxicated, basically. So yeah, it's something similar to being drunk, being high on Nyaope. It's like you get drunk, but spend less money to get drunk. Unlike going to buy beer, buying 1, 2, 3, and getting drunk on the 6th or the 7th.
It's like a quick high.
Yeah, I understand. Like you just roll the joint, you smoke it, and then boom, yeah. You see. So okay, it was like a new feeling to me. I was like, wow, okay, that was nice, bro. Let's do that again. You understand? That's how we get hooked to it. You don't immediately start feeling the withdrawal symptoms, and your mind doesn't change like exactly the first time you use it. It's gonna be in the beginning you're gonna use it because it's nice. I need you to understand that.
Okay.
In the beginning you're gonna use it because it's nice. I need you to understand that.
Okay.
In the beginning you use it because you enjoy the side effects, being intoxicated by it. And then as time goes on, maybe a month after, let's say maybe if you smoke it consistently, like for a month, day after day, that's when things start changing. Like you start experiencing withdrawal symptoms. They call it like on the street, they say it's cracker, like alostro. They call it alostro or cracker. They call it many things. That feeling like when your stomach, it feels like maybe your intestines are being pulled apart, like pain in the stomach. You feel cold, like even when it's not really cold, like in normal weather you'd feel cold, like shivering, and then you yawn, and then your tears would come out, like you're sick. Basically you just get sick, like every morning when you wake up, you feel like that, you get sick, and then you can't do anything before smoking first, and then that's when you get back to normal, and then you can do your daily activities, whatever it is that you do. So in the beginning you smoke it because you want to get high, but then as time goes on you smoke because you get forced to smoke, because you don't want to feel that pain we're talking about that you feel in the morning. And then it's going to be a daily thing that you have to wake up, feel the pain, and then go smoke to get to feel better. Like that's how people get stuck in it. Like initially you won't think that you're going to feel pain every day and smoke, be forced to smoke, you understand? Yeah, so that's the hardest part, is stopping. Once you get to that stage whereby you feel pain every morning, like you depend on it in order to be productive. You become dependent, like you don't do it by choice anymore. The thing about addiction is that once you get addicted and you know you know, the feeling or the highness or whatever they call it, like it's so hard for you to forget about those things and just forget about them and stop doing them and just change your life like overnight like that. It's so hard. Like, I know you didn't understand what I'm saying, but what I'm trying to say is that if it was simple to quit, like all those guys you see there on smoking those things, they all want to quit, basically. I know what I'm saying. Like, if you talk to them, they all say, I want to quit, but it's hard. I want to quit, but it's hard. And you understand?
Yeah, they all say that. They all say, oh, they want to quit.
They all want to quit. Like, it's not nice, basically. You become a slave. You become a slave to the substance. It takes over your whole life, and then you lose interest in friends, relationships, and food, and like the normal things that people do on a daily basis that makes them happy. You lose interest in those things. Like, your primary focus, it becomes smoking and nothing else. Getting money to smoke, and then after smoking, getting more money to smoke. Like,
so are you telling me what it is impossible for me to work like a normal day-to-day job and then I still smoke? Is it impossible?
Well,
and function normally.
The thing is that you are gonna feel the side effects, the ones I'm saying, like the way you feel when you wake up. People who work, like me myself, I was working at the High Court. Yeah, I used to work for the NPA. I used to smoke every day before going to work.
Okay.
So you can work like
a normal
and
job.
Then
smoke.
You can work, but then it would depend on how your dose, like how much it's in your system. If you don't use too much, you can go to work without smoking and work, and then maybe after work you do your thing. Understand? Yeah. So, but then if you have too much of the drug in your system, the pain becomes more, like it's unbearable. You understand? Whereby you can't be productive. You'll be sick. You can't work while you're sick. Like, have you seen a person who's in that state? The one I'm talking about. If you have, you know what I mean. Like,
I've never.
Yeah. So they become very, very, very sick. Those people. I didn't think all such things happen. But then I came across them. I found myself sick as well on a daily basis, and then that's what made it harder for me to.
So take me back to your second year, the time you were introduced. I want you to build me up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was back home. I started these things here at home, not in Johannesburg. I came back. I bought like weed because I knew my friends, I left them smoking weed, like the one I'm talking about. I brought the weed from that side, and I'm like, bro, I brought you the good shit. Like, let's do our thing. And then to find him smoking that thing, and then I gave him the money for that. That day he went and came back, and then from then we would do it on a daily basis. Like, we would start buying the substance instead of the weed.
Okay.
Understand? When he has money, and then I had to go back to school, right? Because I wasn't staying here full time. When I got back to school, it's in Johannesburg. So that side there are a lot of like drugs. That side they're everywhere. Understand? And they're cheap. Okay. 20 rand.
Oh, okay. Wow, cheapy.
Yeah. So okay. You buy a lot of them, and then you smoke and get more addicted and feel the pain and go back, smoke. Yeah.
So were you coping, going to school, studying, and then?
The thing is that I studied part-time. Like, I didn't have daily classes. Like, I wasn't going to class on a daily basis. I had a lot of time on my hands, basically. So I would just sit and smoke like all day. And then money would finish, and then I would start selling my things because I didn't have like a hustle, a source of income. My only source of income was the money that my parents sent me for food. You know, like when you're at school, they would send you money for food and for your personal.
Were you staying at the rest or?
No, I was staying in a commune.
Okay.
I was staying in a commune.
A student accommodation?
Yes.
All right.
And then my parents would send me, like, maybe they would send me, like, maybe 1.5 for food and 1,000 rand for pocket money. Understand? So I would smoke that 1,000 and then from there I would have no money. Yeah, because then I would have to start selling my things in order to feed my.
What were you selling?
Cravings. Like my clothes. I had a lot of clothes.
Yeah.
I had a lot of clothes and like these expensive brands like your Nike.
And then who do you sell it to? Because I hear most of people that use drugs, they only say, I used to sell my things. Then I'm thinking, where do you guys sell these things to?
Like there are a lot of buyers. You'd be surprised. Like there are a lot of people. You know the thing about addicts, when they sell something, they can sell you maybe a phone which is worth 3,000. They can give it to you for like 200 rand or something like that. Like what I'm trying to say is that they sell things for next to nothing. They sell them cheap. They just want quick money to just buy the stuff and get high. Understand? Yeah. So there are a lot of people who are willing. Like even if it was you, I came to you, maybe I came across you on the street, and maybe you. I'm just saying like normal people. We don't actually sell to the same people. We sell to
random.
Yeah, like people, like especially in like maybe your taxi ranks where there are a lot of people, the taxi drivers. Yeah, those are people who like
to
buy things. Yeah.
Oh, those are your customers.
Yeah, basically the drivers and the passengers. Sometimes the people who sell like on the vendors. You see your street vendors.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the customers basically, the potential customers. People who you know that they make money every day.
Oh, okay.
Target people and then give them those things for a less price. Yeah, so when you smoke like Nyaope, you will start selling your clothes.
Okay.
Things that are yours. And then you move on to selling things that are not yours. You end up taking things at home, like for instance, you understand, if you're staying at home, you're not at school, when you're at home, like when I'm at home now here, maybe I don't have money, I'll start looking around the house, like what can give me quick money, and then I end up taking and then selling. When I
so because when at that time, when you were in second year, obviously 2.5 is not enough. Even if I wasn't like smoking, 2.5 wasn't enough. You know, life that side is very expensive. Cost of living is very high. So when you run out of selling things, your valuable items, then what next? Were you stealing from
I would sell like the thing. I had my room. In my room, it was like I had a lot of gadgets.
Okay.
I had gadgets. I had your laptop, your sound, your speakers, your fridge, your microwave. You understand? I had a lot of electronical things around. So when I ran out of like clothes to sell, I would then look at in the room like, okay, I have a microwave. If I sell that microwave, I ended up selling everything in my room. There was a point whereby it was only my bed left. I also sold my fridge, like big case, my fridge, my laptop, my sound system, and then the room was empty and my clothes as well. It was bad.
And then what about the people that you were sharing the house with? Didn't they suspect anything that this one?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I can continue.
So I would sell my valuables and then it would get to a point whereby, okay, I don't have anything to sell, and then I'm cracking. Okay. And I would then, like, you see these trolley guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go to the complex, like there I was in UJ, right? And then there's a complex there.
Which campus?
Campus Square. I was at Kingsway campus in Auckland Park.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a complex there. It's called Campus Square. So like I would help the students who need like people to help them with trolleys. I would help them. I would push the trolley and help the students to their accommodation, and they would give me like money. Yeah, that started being my side hustle.
Okay.
Imagine, and I was also a student. I would take out my student card and show the person who I'm helping. I'd be like, I'm pushing your trolley, right? But I'm also a student. Like, don't take me somehow. Don't think maybe you're better than me or something. Then she'd be shocked. You'd be like, what? Why are you doing this? And then I would explain. I'd be like, no, man, I'm using this substance, and then like I have to keep feeding the habit, because if I don't, I get sick as hell.
I heard that at some point you can die if you don't feed the habit. Is it true?
Nah, maybe for those that use, because there are two ways of smoking out there.
Okay.
You use weed. You can just roll a joint of weed and pour the powder on top and smoke. That's how I smoke it.
Okay.
And then you can, others use like
injection.
a syringe.
All right.
Injection, yeah, syringe. They mix it with water and then pull it out, and then look for a vein, pour it into the vein, straight into the blood stream. So that one is very hectic. So I think maybe that one, it's the one that can kill you if maybe you don't smoke, or you don't have it or something. Yeah, so it's possible. Yeah, it is, because there have been cases of people who died. So I think it can kill you if you don't. But for us who smoke it, there's no way it can kill you. You're just gonna feel a lot of pain, like vomit and all those things, for a minimum of like 7 days. You don't sleep for that 7 days. You feel cold and hot at the same time. Those symptoms are something else, man.
Double.
Yeah, so we always avoid the symptoms by smoking. So we always have to have money every day to smoke, and we are not working. So those kind of things, you end up doing things that you are not proud of, or you were not planning on doing them. Like you end up doing things like shoplifting.
Okay.
Yeah, you end up stealing things in the shop. Okay, stealing things at home, stealing money at home, or whatever. Like whatever you can get your hands on that can give you quick cash, you end up doing it just to get high. Like you don't think about the consequences, that okay, by stealing this I might get caught, go to jail. At that time it doesn't matter.
Doesn't even cross your mind.
Yeah, because it's a hassle. Like you have to find money to smoke somewhere, right? And no one is just gonna come and give you money. So people end up stealing every day just to smoke. Like it's their way of getting money to smoke. Understand? So if you don't steal, it means you have to go and do the trolley thing we're talking about, or maybe work somewhere where they can pay you every day. Like, understand? You can't work a job whereby you're going to get paid at the end of the month. It's hard for an addict to do that. You can work, but you're going to work with the thing that you must get the money quickly for that day. Yeah,
so what happened after you were pushing the trolleys, your second level? Did you pass?
Okay.
Did you graduate?
Yeah, okay, what happened was that I was introduced to Nyaope, right? And then the thing about drugs is that there are many types of drugs. Understand? And when you are a user of a certain drug, it's so much easier for you to use another drug, like, you understand, like
to switch.
Yeah, to switch, or to use many of them at once. You understand? Okay, so in the beginning it was the Nyaope that we are talking about, and then in the very same second year, at a later stage, I got involved in crystal meth. Okay. So I started smoking crystal meth, and crystal meth is a very strong substance. Like you can become psychotic when you smoke it. Like
I remember you told me. Do you still remember?
Yeah, I don't recall, but I'm sure I must have told you or something.
You told me.
So I started
when you were
smoking.
Still studying in UJ.
Yeah, I smoked crystal meth, and then I overused it. Understand? I spend a lot of days not sleeping. When you're high on crystal meth, like if you smoke crystal meth today, now I smoke crystal meth. At night I won't sleep. It takes away the ability to sleep.
Okay.
So you don't sleep at all, like the whole night. And then if you smoke it again the following day, you won't sleep that night too. Understand? So if you smoke it every day, then you don't sleep every day.
But
So-
mama, crystal meth.
Dude, that thing is on another level. It wasn't meant for people smoking, that thing. So, okay, I overused it, and then I ended up taking a lot of days without sleeping. And then my mind turned, like it got to a point where it couldn't take it anymore. And then I was admitted in a psychiatric hospital. I stayed there for 9 months. I didn't get a part-time. I stayed there for
Did
9
they call
months.
your parents and be like, Owen is not okay here at school?
It was my friends, like my roommates.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a phone at that time. They took my brother's numbers. They called him. He called my sister. My sister came and he fetched me. They took me to the hospital, and then I failed that year. I failed that second year, and then I spent like 9 months. The following year.
Which hospital was that?
Sterkfontein Hospital in Krugersdorp. It's a psychiatric hospital.
It's like a mental institution.
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
And then I was there for 9 months. I came back. Okay, I stopped smoking the crystal meth. I went back to school the following year, and then I passed.
Okay, that's nice.
I did third year, and then what happened after that?
You graduated.
I graduated. I completed, and then no, I failed twice. I did third year, and then I also abused the crystal meth, and then I failed, and then I repeated it, and then I completed.
But this time the crystal meth, were you taking it lightly?
I did a 5-year course I did a 3-year course for 5 years. Understand? My first year was in 2011. I was supposed to complete in 2013, but I completed in 2015. So yes, I failed twice. And then I graduated in 2016. Yeah, that's what happened. And then I came back home. And then I worked at the High Court for a year. And then I was back. I was still smoking.
Which High Court? In Polokwane?
Yeah, in Polokwane.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, in PA. So I was still smoking then. I was working while I was smoking, but I went back to the Nyaope. In the time I was in hospital for 9 months, I went to rehab for 2 months. So I was in hospital for 7 months, and I went to rehab for 2 months.
Did you go to rehab before or after?
After.
And you said you went away for 9 months, so I'm saying.
Yeah, during that 9 months, 7 months I spent it in hospital, 2 months I spent it in rehab, and then I came back home.
Okay.
And then I was clean for maybe a few months, and then I relapsed. To relapse is to go back to using substances.
Okay.
I relapsed, and then I went back. I smoked Nyaope.
Wait, can I please stop you there? Yeah. I want to understand why you guys go to rehab and then come back and relapse.
Okay, yeah, it's a very good question. The reason I always relapse, okay, I have relapsed more than once. What causes relapse? It's a number of factors, a lot. Many things can cause relapse. So for me personally, what causes me to relapse is the fact that when I come back from rehab, I don't have anything to keep me busy. Like, I don't have a job to go to every morning to keep me busy away from using substances. I just stay at home like all day, and you get bored, you understand?
It gets annoying.
So, you get bored, like staying at home all day, not doing anything at all. You just watch TV and then stay in your room. You can imagine, like, that's not a nice life. So it's hard for me to stay indoors like, all day. I'm used to being around, like in the streets and interacting with people. So I struggle with that part of staying indoors to avoid going to the places of using substances.
And as well, staying at home, it also depresses you.
Yeah, I understand. And then I don't have positive friends. Like, when I say positive friends, I'm talking about normal people that don't use substances. I don't have such friends. The people who I call my friends are the people that use substances. the people who I can say are my friends that don't use substances, they are not around. Like, one very cool, understand?
Oh,
they're
they're busy.
I was like, understand? Like, they move, they're busy, far away. So around here, I don't have positive people I can hang around with, and yeah, I understand. So it always forces me to go back to the very same place that I'm avoiding, like the place where I smoke those things, understand? I can't stay at home all day. When I leave the house, I go to use the substances.
Yeah.
Understand? Because I don't really have anywhere else I can go.
Yeah, I get it.
The only way to avoid it is to stay indoors, and which is not easy for a guy. Maybe for a girl, because I see women don't have a problem with like being indoors all day, every day. You understand? So me personally, and me, not only me, but a lot of people, the reason they use substances is because like they have nothing to keep them busy. Their primary focus is smoking. Yeah, so the things that do keep them busy are things that will give them money to smoke.
So what happened after that job, Yako High Court?
I completed my internship. It was an internship. And then, like I was saying, I was smoking at that time. And then I completed it and continued smoking.
At that time, were you smoking Nyaope or crystal meth?
I also forgot to mention that I also smoke this other one they call rock.
Okay, so you spoke about the time you were working Go High Court, né? You said now you moved from crystal meth to rock.
The rock I've been using it for a while. Like I could say, after being introduced to Nyaope, I also smoked rock and then stopped rock and then smoked crystal meth, because like rock and crystal meth, they don't go hand in hand. So I smoked crystal meth from there and then stopped crystal meth, went back to rock, and while I was still using the Nyaope. So
how are these three things different, and what are the prices?
Okay, Nyaope is the cheapest. It depends in the area, right?
Limpopo, it's 30 rand.
Yeah, it's 30 rand for the Nyaope. It's 40 rand for the rock.
Okay.
And it's 50 rand for the crystal. So it's 30, 40, 50.
So that
So when I use the two of them, I use Nyaope and rock. It means I always spend 70. When I buy, like I take out 70 and then come back, take out another 70. So I can take out maybe 70 5 times a day.
Yeah.
So that's how much those people like use. You might think that okay, they are dirty and what, but those people, they spend a lot of money. To see that they spend a lot of money, you should see the people that they buy them those things from. They drive big cars and all that, expensive cars, and
I get we see them because it's October. So I want to know that when we see
doesn't even show the assets of the people.
Okay, now I want to know about how Nyaope looks and how rock looks like and what crystal meth, because when they bust them, they just put them there on the table and then we just see powders. And then sometimes I see a shiny rock.
Yeah, that shiny rock is crystal.
Do you smoke that thing?
No, it has a pipe they use. It has this glass pipe.
Okay.
They put it inside the glass pipe and then they bend the pipe with the gunlight. Like they pour the crystal inside the pipe and then they bend the pipe and then the crystal bends from inside the pipe, right? And then they pull the smoke. That's how they smoke crystal. And then others, they inject it with a syringe.
Okay.
They mix the crystal with water and then they pour it straight into their bloodstream.
So when are you used to smoke?
Me, I used to smoke with the pipe.
Okay.
Yeah, you buy the pipe. The pipe is also 50 rand. The pipe is 50 rand, the crystal is 50 rand.
So you only got to smoke rock and crystal while you were working Go High Court?
No, even before. I started the crystal in university, remember? I was still in university when I started crystal. It was the year 2012. That's when I got psychotic and went to the hospital, the psychiatric hospital for the first time. And then I came back home. And then I continued with the rock and the Nyaope, 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 19. And then 2019, crystal meth started. It came to our our location, on Wahoma. Then that crystal meth came to Wahoma, and then it was available all of a sudden. And it was the one that caused me to leave Johannesburg and come back home. My addiction with crystal. And then I started using the crystal here at home. And then I used it for 2 years, and then I got psychotic again. Back to psychiatric hospital.
Is it the one that you were telling me about? That hospital that you said that there's like big walls? Because
yes,
at once
it's a prison, a psychiatric hospital. It's a prison because there are people who are serving prison time there. Understand? Like there are people who are found guilty in court, and then they find that the person is mentally unstable can go to prison, right? And then they take them to that hospital. So it's a hospital/prison. You understand? So they mix us with those prisoners, and we, the normal people, and the prisoners, we are just kept in one place. So they make sure that they lock every room every time. Like we are constantly locked up. It's like a prison, but it's a hospital. So it's very tough. That's it. I don't like that place.
Can it?
I don't ever want to see myself there. It's not nice.
But you went there voluntarily by your parents?
No, I go there because at the time I'm not myself. Like there's this thing. I suffer from. They call it substance-induced psychotic episode. Like when I overuse the substances, they affect my mind and trigger something in the mind that makes me like hear voices and see things and believe things that are not real. Like I become someone totally different. Like I lose control, I lose sense of reality. What's real, what is not, what's going on. You see?
Can you take me back to maybe if you can remember, like wanang like go to bile like
not like okay, something, like unless maybe in the dark or maybe you see shadows, you can see shadows, like things like that. It's not like someone is just gonna appear in front of you and you see. No, you have illusions. Like an illusion is like maybe seeing shadows, like I'm saying, or what else could it be? I don't really.
Like you lose your mind.
Yeah, like basically you go to the spirit realm. You go to the spirit realm. You start seeing things that you otherwise maybe shouldn't see. Spiritual things.
Are those things real, or is it drugs showing things that are not there?
Yeah, well, you see that question that can be debated a lot. Like some will say it's real. You see, you are seeing things of the spirit realm. Like some will say it's the illusions, like is the psychosis. Like it's when you are psychotic. That's what you see. So some will say it's real, some will say it's psychosis. But me, I say it's real from my experience. It's like when you smoke crystal meth, what you do is that you don't eat. You fast. You fast, you don't eat, and you don't sleep for a long period. Maybe for 2 weeks you don't eat and you don't sleep. That's when you start seeing those things. You see. So that's what makes me believe all these things, they are spiritual things like witchcraft things and what. Witches, what. So yeah, that's my perception of it, like the way I see it. Okay, so to continue my story,